It's an interview on June 2nd with Miss Verna Presley. Should begin right there. Hi, Verna.
Hi.
How would you characterize your community here?
It is a community that at one time was an extremely prosperous area that, along with a lot of areas, has lost that prosperity due to industry moving out. You have a population of older people that are good community members, but you also have a section of people that have moved in that are not what you would want to be called your next door neighbor. Mm-hmm. It's just like every small community, it's been hit with drugs, lack of work, but a lot of it is a farming community, and it's a good community, but it has its problems just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long have you lived in the community here? Or how long have you had this residence here as well?
We've had the house here for 5 years. We've owned the property for about 7 years. We were looking for an area for a second home for my husband to get away from his business. And I always wanted, I grew up on a farm, so I wanted back on the farm. And of course we don't farm it other than just a personal gardening. But it's a very quiet, peaceful area most of the time when you don't have to listen to the foliage and the trucks. I lived in a small town on a side street that I would say our main streets had less truck traffic than I have on this country road. And 90% of it is tankers following drilling.
Do you have family in the region?
My son lives in Fairmont, and my daughter lives right outside of Burgettstown.
Oh, okay. When were you first introduced on a personal level to gas drilling and natural gas extraction processes?
When my interest really peaked was when the Dunkard fish kill took place. And the knowledge that the water being pumped out that lowered the level of the stream was going to Marcellus drilling, and the fact that drilling water, whether it was methane extraction or the Marcellus shell, was a factor in the fish kill. That's when my interest just really, I guess you have to be smacked in the face before you pay attention.
Were you ever introduced to any of the gas drillers? Did they ever introduce themselves to you?
Sure. Our barn was built in 1850, and that's our barn. You can see a derrick.
Oh, derrick right next to the barn. No kidding. That's a great old book.
There's an area down here on our property that dips down, and we always wondered what that area was. And then when we found this book and purchased it, we saw exactly why it dipped down. Basically, this little town was developed through gas. And it was the People's Natural Gas Company. It was a compressor station from 1906 to 1959. And there used to be a high school in this area, many churches, just a grand community. So knowing that has since we don't own the mineral rights and usually second or third person property owners, it's pretty hard to have your mineral rights. It's a really big concern to me. We only have 20 acres, but what can they do with that 20 acres? We don't have a whole lot of say, and I think that is just absolutely ridiculous that in this day and age, somebody can come in on your property and ruin your property without you having a word to say about it.
Do you have any gas drilling on your property right now?
No.
Have they ever approached you?
Well, we've gotten letters,
Mm-hmm.
and we just throw them in the garbage because we are not interested whatsoever.
Are the letters asking you for leases to start drilling on your property? Is that
Basically, I think some of the gas companies are just sending them out to every residence everywhere, and basically throwing a fishing line trying to catch a fish. Somebody willing to contact them about having gas drilling on their property.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you talked about the Dunkard Creek fish kill. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What happened?
It was the end of August, beginning of September, and of course that's a dry period.
What year was that?
This is the second 2 years.
So 2008?
Mm-hmm. It would have been 2009.
Okay.
And the tanker trucks were 24/7 hauling water out of the Dunkard Creek. They were hauling so much water out, they left their hoses in. And of course took the level of the stream down to a critical level, and with the Blacksville number 2, Consol mine, of course they're putting water in, they're discharging water into the stream, and Blacksville borehole number 1, which is just upstream somewhat, trucks were going in there, again, 24/7, dumping, I assume, wastewater down the borehole. It was not a controlled area. It was supposed to be gated and a guard. There was no one there until they were hugely fined and made to put someone there. And everything that could conceivably be dumped down there was dumped, including human waste from septic systems that a particular trucker was dumping into it. And, you never really get a true story. Rumors fly. But I've heard rumors from truck drivers that were trucking the wastewater, were told to wait till a certain time at night and just pull off to the stream and dump it in. So I think it was a combination of water out of Blacksville number 1 going into the Blacksville number 2 and then going into the discharge. And I've not seen anyone dumping that I can say was dumping. But how do you tell if they're dumping or they're pulling out? It's a pump, it's a hose into the water. So, could have I seen it? Yeah, I probably could have. But did I know what they were doing? No. And it just brought the salinity of the stream up, as I said before, up to the salinity of an ocean. And of course, freshwater animals and fish are not going to live in that situation. And it pretty much killed the entire Dunkard Creek honest morph.